are here, we are the wise, and we are so pleased to introduce ourselves to you today.
Madeline Wu transformed lifelong trauma into a healing method, guided by an ascended council of master healers, the wise.
I've been following a channel for a long time, for about 3 years or so, and never expecting to be one.
And what has been your path? What has led you here?
I kind of kept getting knocked off the path, partly because of the trauma. It was kind of funny how it kept drawing me back to what I was supposed to do. I realized I really need to start putting myself out there as so I draw people to me who want the whole answer.
What kind of transformation can they be expecting or expect?
So I want them to have the certainty and the absolute knowing that it is possible and that they will get there.
I saw you cringing even, like, oh, should I say this? Should I say this? No, you can say
That does happen when you're a conscious channel, and even the mentor I learned from, there are times where you say, really? That you want me to say what?
Hello and welcome to Radical TV. I'm Shawna Smith. Joining me here today is Madeline Wu. Madeline has a personal story that involves being raised in a childhood home with ongoing experiences that led to complex PTSD. She says she constantly searched for new modalities and perspectives to heal because what worked for other people didn't actually work for her due to her trauma-based resistance that she wasn't even aware of. Most recently, she's discovered her ability to channel and ascend council of master healers, the wise, who told her it is her mission to share her life's work because it is deeply needed at this time. Hello, Madeline. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Fabulous. This is so interesting to me. Regarding, your childhood and the PTSD that you recently discovered that you had and what it has led you to with the wise. Tell me more about this.
The wise are an ascended council of master healers, and they came to me mainly because, well, one, I was curious. I've been following a channel for a long time, for about 3 years or so, and never expecting to be one. I was just learning from them and learning how to, have a more joyful life and do my thing and be authentic and, and all of those wonderful things that we strive for, personal growth is mainly. And I was trying to get clearer answers to those areas where, your intuition seems to not be so strong, where you think you're getting the hit and then, you go into that situation and you just seem to get blocked in certain areas. So I did that and then quite accidentally discovered an ability to channel. So the wise came to me because of the fact that I'd already put together from my life experience of all the different healing modalities that I've learned. I'd put together sort of a program of like 10 areas that are necessary for the body to heal itself, because they're all things that can create resistance and stop the body from doing what it wants to do naturally, which is to be well and be healthy. And it's all things that everyone can do once they understand and have the self-empowerment to do it.
So when you say channeling, what exactly does that mean?
So it means that for me, and I don't know if it's the same for every single channel, although there is a lot of similarity from the people that I trained with. It's for me, it's like I just know the next word they're going to say and the next word and the next word, and I'm kind of listening to it just like everyone else is, but I am fully conscious. I just close my eyes because it's easier to focus.
Wow. So fascinating and so interesting. You have a unique magic method. Do you want to tell us about that and what it is, and maybe walk us through the steps as well?
Sure. So come up with the title of the FREE method, and FREE is an acronym that stands for fundamentals, which actually it's easier if I just explain as I go. So that breaks down into, getting proper hydration, and most people don't even know exactly what that means. From my experiences in all the other healing modalities, including osteopathy, talking about sleep, nutrition, and it's not the practices that most people think when they think of nutrition. It's more about listening to your individual body, and maybe you're talking about some commonalities of things that tend to be triggers for people, but it's not like a one size fit all. So the R in FREE is reliability, and that's talking about your inner world. So that's talking about how to use your breathing to calm your nervous system and tell your nervous system you're safe. What your values are, like what you decide it's important to spend your time, whether you prioritize your health or not, whether you put everyone else in front of you. And your beliefs. Do you believe it's even possible to heal? Do you think it's possible? What you believe makes a huge difference. The first E is expectations, and we're talking about your outer world. So that is the idea of you having the power to choose the emotions rather than being at the effect of all the people and events around you. And in addition to that, the idea of stress management and conflict resolution. So the idea that there are tools that make it, with a little practice, it's not hard at all to not be reactive or triggered by all those things that usually throw us off our little peace train when we're feeling good. And then the last E is empowerment. So the idea is you have the power to be your own hero. And we're talking about listening and learning from your subconscious mind. So we're talking about, this is where my hypnotherapy training comes in, and learning is there something that's blocking you from a subconscious standpoint. It could be trauma. It could be just the regular stuff that happens in childhood, that can lead to all sorts of things. Even in the best well-meaning, caring parents, things just, babies don't understand when people leave the room and don't come back. And, all these things can happen in the mind of a very young child. So, and also the last one being how to listen to your body, how to love your body, how to really pay attention so that you're getting the messages so that your body can tell you what's wrong. I mean, it's not just pure guesswork.
And what has been your path? What has led you here?
I've always had a lifelong fascination with health and wellness, even though it was never my goal as a career. I very much followed my cultural expectations of, I think, of being an accountant or something along those lines. And I never really loved it. I kind of kept getting knocked off the path, partly because of the trauma. It was kind of funny how it kept drawing me back to what I was supposed to do, because is what feels right to me. And I'm so glad I switched. But I mean, I ended up with a psychology degree instead of a business degree because I had such a pathological fear of public speaking that I couldn't take the required public speaking course, for example.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Was there a pivotal moment when things shifted for you, when you kind of decided there's another way?
Yeah, it was, it happened a little over time. I don't know if it was one singular moment, but I remember that, first I learned about psychology and I would find random people, even though I wasn't a practicing psychologist, I would be doing other jobs in offices and people would constantly tell me about their problems, what was wrong, even if they didn't know me, even when I was a temp. So, which was really funny. And then I went and became an Amatsu therapist, which is a holistic Japanese osteopath. And then I would find that, it would work great for a lot of people, which was why I took it. I thought it was the most comprehensive healing method. And then I kept coming across things that seemed psychosomatic that wouldn't be helped, but other parts of their health would improve. So then I thought, well, there's got to be more to that. And so then I trained in a specific form of hypnotherapy, which I very much loved, called RTT, Rapid Transformational Hypnotherapy by Marissa Peer. And I loved it so much, I became one of her trainers for many years. And I still love it. It's just I've now gone in my own different direction. So through hypnotherapy, I started noticing that people would get really great results in certain other areas. But when it overlapped into, other things that would help their healing, they kind of didn't want to hear it because they only came to me for the one thing. And then when I started trying to mix the two, it was always interesting because people weren't coming to me for the other parts. And so it's like I knew that these other three parts of their these other three areas that I was talking about out of the 10 would make a huge difference, but there was a huge amount of resistance. And that's when I realized I really need to start putting myself out there as a, so I draw people to me who want the whole answer and are willing to listen to the whole answer. And then they can find what parts of it are missing for them and what is preventing their ability for their bodies to heal themselves.
Wow. That is really powerful. When did you realize that you wanted to start sharing and helping with others? Was there a point at that, or has it always been kind of a thing?
I think I've always been somebody who've wanted to help people my whole life. It just depended on what my skill set was, how that would show up. So this is a very natural evolution. I've always been very empathic, very, very, even before I knew what it was, very clairsentient. I would be able to read a room or know what people were needing and respond appropriately. kind of a natural peacemaker and mediator. So it was just kind of an extension. And I've always been somebody who, if I know something that will help someone, unless they really don't want to hear it, I will generally offer to share it. And it's
Mm.
usually received well. So
Who specifically do you feel called to serve?
eventually, I'd love to expand and serve everyone because that's kind of who I am. But to start with, just to get a little more focused, I'm called to serve those with chronic fatigue and chronic pain, because then you can always expand from there. But really, yeah, those are what seem like the biggest people in need of something from the start.
Hmm. And when someone goes through your program and works with you, what kind of transformation can they be expecting or expect?
They should really expect to see a breakthrough in their ability to move beyond wherever they've ended up, because usually people have been searching for healing modalities for quite some time, and they may or may not have experienced some level of improvement or some level of temporary improvement or something along those lines. And I really want them to be able to break through the walls and start to see improvements, bigger improvements and lasting improvements, the more they sort of practice these new ideas. And depending on how many of these things they have to address at once, of course, that will impact how long it will take, but at least they have a roadmap and they know they will get there. And so I want them to have the certainty and the absolute knowing that it is possible and that they will get there.
Hmm. And when someone works with you directly, what can they be expect there?
It's a mixture of the program itself, but the program is delivered through the channel, and then I elaborate or answer questions as needed, depending on what the participants look for. And then the other aspect of it is also the channel itself. They're able to know exactly what each individual person needs. And so whether in like a Q&A, which is part of the program, or if it's like hot seat coaching, which is also included for people who are still coming up against some tough blocks, which could be trauma based, whether they know it or not. The idea is I want to make sure that everybody is caught and that everybody has the blocks removed so that they can actually heal themselves. I don't want anybody left behind.
Well, we talked a little bit, the channeling in the beginning, and I would love if you're open to it. You said you would, if we can experience that, because I'm so fascinated and would love to see it if that's okay.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do it. I'll just close my eyes. And do you have a question for me to start on, or just would you like to hear what they have to say first?
Oh my goodness. I would love to hear what they have to say first. Yeah.
Okay. 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 I actually I forgot to mention this. I actually channel 5 channels, but the primary one is the wise, and they generally are the ones that come in.
Oh,
But
wow. Okay.
three of them participate in healing related things.
I already have goosebumps all over.
Okay. Okay, here we go. We are here, we are the wise, and we are so pleased to introduce ourselves to you today. We are so excited to do this work more broadly in the world and to have a platform with which to reach those who are seeking our help and our assistance. We are so grateful for this opportunity, and we know that people are going to really benefit from not just our perspective, but understanding the truth of what it takes for your body to be well. There are so many things beyond what most people generally understand, even the people who have been searching so diligently and over such a long period of time. And we want it to be this easy roadmap or guide that is infallible. When you address everything your body needs, then there is absolutely nothing holding you back from returning to your perfect state of health, which is equilibrium, really. Your bodies are amazing and they are made to withstand so much. And it actually takes a lot to knock them off their perfect balance. But of course, so much happens in the course of a lifetime that it does generally reach a point where it just can't. Um, uh, Compensation, that's the word. They can't compensate for any other um, stresses or postural imbalances or illnesses or, you know, traumas or whatever it is. So, or accidents or that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So we are so excited to really get out there and address what is really going to help people who are ready to be empowered and to love themselves and to take the time for themselves to heal their bodies properly. Do you have a question for us?
Yes. I've been trying to heal my core muscles. I would say it would probably begin at my head and go through my neck and my core down to my pelvic area for since I've had children. And I'm curious as to how I can do that because I've been finding some roadblocks.
Mhm. Yes, so what we will tell you is that we are sensing that there is a little bit of sorry, she's getting nervous, so it's not coming in clear. There is a little bit of self-doubt
Hmm.
and self-loathing
Ah.
area of feeling good enough to stand up on your own 2 feet when it comes to doing the things that you want to do and putting your needs first. And it's easier to not feel strong and upright enough that you want and feel completely able to be free of what you are feeling and experiencing. It allows a reason to hide and a reason to not play full out. We hope that this is not too harsh of a message to pass on to
Not at
you,
all.
but we really encourage loving yourself more than anything else and really understanding that you are special, you are suited to do the work that you're drawn to do, you are powerful beyond belief, and that there is no reason to doubt your abilities for there is no reason to doubt your abilities at all. And by standing and knowing of the strength and the power that you are and reminding your body of the strength and the power that it has, your core will indeed strengthen. As far as physical things, we always encourage more hydration in general to most people. Most people are underhydrated. Um, the more you hydrate properly, the more your body will work better. Think of it as not just the gasoline in a car, but it's also the windshield wiper fluid, the power steering fluid, the engine oil that cleans and runs everything. It's so necessary for every process in the body, including the strengthening of your muscles, because when there is a shortage, it won't release or detox. And so we also encourage you to increase your water intake because that's really what is going to help your muscles to heal as well, rather than keeping, the dead cells and the toxins and the byproducts of just living and breathing, letting that leave your body, and that will make it easier for your body to manage nutrients and building of muscles, and even keeping you in a state of proper equilibrium, like physical equilibrium, and that will make it easier as well.
Hmm. Wow.
Do you
Thank
have
you.
enough?
I love them. I guess I was curious as to how I go about making these changes, what I can do or what I should be doing.
Oh, so your personal situation, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, with my core
Okay,
and healing my core. Yep.
right. Just wanted to clarify.
Thank you.
We would recommend that you start once, first off, by just hydrating more. We'd say at least double what you're currently drinking. That would be a good base to build upon. And perspective is everything. So we also encourage you to be happy about it. Most people get quite upset about the extra trips to the bathroom, but um, we recommend that you shift your perspective and realize that every time you are releasing things, you're releasing all those things that have been stuck and pent up and blocking you for so long. And so we really want you to focus on the positive that you are creating for yourself and not the inconvenience. And that is a huge part of the way we advise people to think of things in general. If you begrudgingly do things to help your body, that mental intention does have an impact. And so we always really want people to be not only as positive as possible, but also really appreciate all that their bodies are doing for them, and know that what they are doing is having an impact, even if it is not visible right away, because doubt is another big resistance creator. So we would love you to start there. And aside from that, it's just when you get those, and everybody gets these intuitive hits for what is right for them to do next when they are grounded and quiet and listening for it. And so we advise you that when those things come up, do not doubt yourself. Get out there and do that thing, especially when you feel that you've taken care of yourself well and you feel rested and you feel great. Getting out there and actually doing the things that you feel guided to do, that is a great way to reflect back to your body that you are strong, and your body will reflect that right back to you.
Hmm.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Makes complete sense. Hmm. Hmm.
Do you have another question for us?
No, I'm very good. Thank you. Hmm.
Wonderful. We are complete.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, that's, and I loved it. I loved it. I saw you cringing even, like, oh, should I say this? Should I say this? No,
That does happen. That does happen when you're a conscious channel. And even the mentor I learned from, there are times where you say, "Really? That you want me to say what?" And there are times they've said things that have made me laugh and made my client laugh. It's because sometimes they're funny, sometimes they say things you wouldn't expect, but it gets the point across. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I could do this all day. I love this. Oh, wow. That is so amazing. I took
Yeah.
some notes, so I'm going to work on that.
Glad it was helpful.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So if someone wants to work with you and find out more, how can they do so?
So my website, no, it's Madeline Wu and thewise.com. And the and is spelled out, it's not an ampersand.
Okay. And when people sign on to work with you, what can they expect when they work with you directly?
Yeah, if they work with me one-on-one, generally speaking, the first session's about 2 hours, with about 90 minutes of channeling. And the rest is, again, more of an integration. We have a conversation about um, if they have questions or practical application, although the Wise are pretty good at giving pretty simple practical things as well. And then follow-ups would be roughly 90 minutes with about 75 minutes of channeling. But it depends, on each individual person. It's not set hard in stone.
Mm-hmm. And then you have a group coming up? Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
so yes, I'm in the process of writing my first book, which is a channeled book called The Free Method, which is essentially the same thing in book form. And so the course in January will be, once the book is completed, it'll be breaking down that into a 5-week course. So it'll be 2 chapters per week, so 2 areas of the 10 areas per week. The idea being you have enough time to cover everything. At the same time, you want results within the 5 weeks, which is the expectation because, people have waited long enough for results. So, and then the have regular Q&A sessions every week, but also have that last session that allows people who have had a bit more stickiness or maybe something that they don't quite understand that's still blocking them, to have that hot seat at the end for anybody who's still needing that little bit extra, like the direct one-on-one with the channel, like you just experienced, because, in a course of many people that may not be necessary or
Mm-hmm.
or possible for everyone, and not everyone needs it, but some people may, just like I needed that myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something about that direct message. Like it's just like it goes right into your soul and tells you what, you need to hear, or what I needed to hear is maybe what I should say.
And I don't have to guess either, because when I was just doing a therapist without the channel, you're relying very much on what people self-report. And if you ask anybody, 90% of people will tell you they drink enough water.
Mhm.
When I was an osteopath, we had to test for water because you're talking to their nervous system, which is electrical. And we would ask the body directly, do we have enough hydration to get like the accurate um, electrical nervous system muscle testing readings? And 90% of the time it was no.
Wow.
So this kind of allows me to bypass that.
Mhm. Yeah, get right to it. That's exactly what it is. What would the world look like if everyone knew what you know?
Oh, that would be awesome. I mean, the idea that it's like we're not really taught beyond the most basic self-care as children, and not for any other, like not for a bad reason. It's just, parents aren't taught, and everyone is following this general, treat the symptom model versus this is how you actually take care of yourself. This is everything your body needs. And, it's just if everyone knew that, there'd be a lot less illness, strain, pain, fatigue, especially the chronic stuff. That's where my focus is, because if you can heal from whatever it is you have, you'll probably just do what you've been doing and you wouldn't come looking for me. But if you have something chronic and you've been trying to work on it for 5, 10, or so years, what I'm learning more and more is that there's really nothing that wouldn't be helped by this. I mean, even stuff that's, incurable, um, your quality of life can always be improved. And I'm
Mhm.
excited to see how much it can be improved, especially for the things that people say are impossible. I mean, I hear it over and over and over again how many people have beat cancer, and not just beat cancer, like it's never come back. It's not a remission waiting to see the next test this year and next year. So I'm learning more and more, especially from my channel and also from other channels that I follow. Nothing's impossible. It's what you believe and what
Mhm.
you're willing to do to take care of your body and put your health first, because
Mhm.
you actually are a better caregiver to others when you take care of yourself first, and that's something that has also kind of been often lost in the conversation.
You said something there that really hits me. Speaking of hydration and I'll never forget being in the hospital after having my first child and my husband saying, "Do you need some water before you nurse?" And I said, "Yes." And you nurse the baby. And then the nurse was like, "Oh no, you take care of that baby first." And
Oh,
I was like, "Okay." And I think that's what it was like, woo, off to the races. There we go. So this is all coming full circle for me. It's so interesting. Is there anything that breaks your heart about what's happening in the world or in your industry?
um, mainly, I think it's just mainly that people don't understand that they can heal themselves, especially from things that like chronic fatigue and chronic pain. Those are clear signs from your body that it just needs something. It's not even, it's so funny when it's these vague, undiagnosable things where clearly there's nothing wrong, you're fine, you just can't seem to get rid of these last couple symptoms, especially after COVID. There were a lot of people, I think, with long COVID, and some of them are still experiencing symptoms to this day. And usually it's there's a reason for it, like as far as it's somewhere in the beliefs and values, especially the values. Again, it's not putting yourself first in in a loving way, and it doesn't mean you leave everyone else behind. It's just like the airplane, you put on your oxygen mask before helping others, because you're not going to be as effective otherwise. You're going to be tired, you're going to be triggered, you're going to be cranky, you're not going to be your highest vibrational loving self, and that's going to have a trickle down effect. And so the idea that it's not selfish to take care of yourself first, and it
Yeah.
doesn't take as much time as most people think when you're not tired and dehydrated and triggered and stressed and upset about this, that, and the other thing that is going on in your world or whatever it is. Yeah. There are ways to become really bulletproof about all of those things with practice.
Hmm. Wow. I love everything about this. It's been so fun to talk to you. And yeah, I have a couple more questions regarding the Radiverse. What has changed in your life or your business since you joined Radical Company?
the ability to finally see the end in sight as far as getting my website and my business set up so that I can actually take more clients and set up the course and all of these technology components. And even though I've had a lot of careers in my life, I've jumped around forever trying to find what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. And but there's just so many pieces, and trying to put my what I want to put out there in a box. It doesn't really fit. Like, I can't describe what I do in like one short sentence of 5 words. It just is impossible. So it's learning how to get that messaging across. And so for me, the Radiverse has really made a big difference in first for me appreciating that I'm not like crazy for having this completely out of the box, you know, different perspective, but also how to explain that in a way that doesn't take, 3 hours of talking in circles before people start to sort of get it. They've really helped me to boil down the message and get it to be clear so that it's completely understandable. So yeah, that's a big part. And then again, getting all the technology set up so I don't have any more excuses to say why I can't get out there and share what I know.
And if someone was considering the Radiverse, what would you tell them about your experience?
I would absolutely encourage them to join. I don't see myself leaving it at any time in the near future or even in the far future. They are my biggest cheerleaders. They are so all in and so not just invested, but they really believe in getting these businesses that are going to help people out there, that have such a different perspective that's going to make a difference to the people who are looking for that shifted perspective, because usually these things get created because the regular way of doing things isn't working for everyone. And so it's finding, the thing that's going to make a huge difference to the people that you serve. And so I think that's what's so important about it. And yeah, why
Mhm.
it's why it's their passion, the people who are leading the charge in the Radiverse.
I love this so much.
Oh,
All
thanks.
right, Madeline Wu, such a pleasure to talk to you here today. Thank you.
Thank you as well.